Hello, everyone. I am Brady Briggs here for another episode of the Combat Logic. Joining me back is my co-host Tyler Avery. How you doing, Tyler?
Good. How are you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Good. So today we're going to talk about UFC Vegas 43. Now, let's see. There are 12 fights on this card. The prelims are kind of, iffy. A lot of people will probably complain about it, but we got Sean Soriano on there. He's a decent fighter. He's a good striker. Cody Durden's fighting Faris Ziam, that kickboxer. He's fighting Terrence McKinney, that dude that had that really quick knockout in his debut. Loma Lukium, she's like a wicked Muay Thai fighter. She's got like 200 Muay Thai wins. Hoffa Garcia is fighting Natan Levy, Tucker Lutz, and Pat Sabatani. But we're going to mostly talk about the main card today because there's a pretty good five-fight main card. And it starts off with Davy Grant and Adrian Yanez. Now, Yanez knocked his opponent out on the Contender Series to get into the UFC. Since then, he's had a first, second, and third round knockout. He's 3-0 in the UFC with 3 knockouts. Davy Grant just lost his last fight to Marlon Vera, who he has a win over, by the way. Before that, he was coming off 2 third-round KOs, getting performance of the nights in both of them. This is between 2 really good strikers, primarily 2 really good boxers. How do you see this one going?
I like Davy Grant.
Yeah,
I think
that's interesting.
I think he's a little bit underrated.
For sure.
He's really tough.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got a decent amount of experience. I feel like he's got a shot in this one, personally.
Yeah, he does, man. He's a very underrated boxer. He's got super heavy hands. He's got a weird style of boxing too, man. Like really loopy like punches, but he hits so damn hard. And most of his losses are submissions. He's actually pretty damn good on the ground too. And
He's got like
Yanez,
a long and strong power.
yeah, right. It's kind of strange, man. You don't see much of it, but I'm super glad he was able to finally come back and fight consistently. Injuries almost took his career away from him. He's had some pretty good performances since. I'm super excited for this one. This is one I'm probably most excited for on the whole card, actually.
For sure.
Joanne Calderwood is going to fight Talia Santos. No, as we were just saying like 5 minutes ago, Calderwood, it's unfortunate because she's somebody that we all expected to challenge for the belt by now, maybe even win it. She's a 19-2 pro kickboxer. She made her UFC debut with a record of 8-0, and after winning her debut, she lost, then won a couple more. Then she lost 2. And since then, she's won 1, lost 1 for like her next 6 or 7. So she's coming off a loss to Lauren Murphy. She's fighting 18-1 Talia Santos, who is 3-0 in the UFC, I think. 3-1 in the UFC. So, yeah, how do you see this one going?
I usually find myself rooting for Joanne.
Me too.
I really want to see her cross that next tier of competition to where she's a title challenger.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these women's divisions are pretty much claimed for the time being, I think.
The titles?
I think so.
Yeah.
Especially, obviously, Valentina Nunes. But I think Calderwood is well-rounded. I feel like she could have the skills to take this.
Yeah, I hope so, man. It's interesting. It's really interesting. Santos has done really well lately, but yeah, I'm hoping Calderwood can get her string together. Like I really want
Santos definitely seems to be like the fresher fighter at this point.
Yeah, she definitely is. Man, Calderwood and Shevchenko. I mean, yeah, Shevchenko would win, but dude, they're 2 pro kickboxers and an MMA world title fight, man. I'd just love to see that.
Right.
The feature fight of the night, this has been rescheduled. I'm super happy because I was so pissed when it was canceled. Ronnie Yaya and Kyung Ho Kong. Like, this is a really good fight. Now, Ronnie Yaya, he's been around forever. Like, I started watching him in WEC. He submitted everybody that he didn't lose to anyway. And Kong, he made his UFC debut with a record of 11-6. After going 0-1-1, he won his next 3 before – wait, hold on. No, he only had 4 UFC fights, and then he had to take a break to go into the military. This was in 2014. Then he returned in 2018 after nearly 4 years away to submit Guido Canetti, that older Mexican dude that we said is a lot better than, his record says, a few weeks back. Then he lost a split decision to Ricardo Ramos and won his last 3 straight, while Yaya hasn't fought in a while. I think he submitted somebody. Yeah, Ray Rodriguez earlier this year. I think Yaya's got an underrated striking game. and Kong has an underrated grappling game. This should be a very interesting contrast of styles.
Yeah, I think obviously we know the tail of the tape for this as far as what Yaya wants. He should be going to the ground, try to get a submission. But like you said, his striking isn't it's not like he can't hang in that department.
Yeah.
He's got a ton of experience. Obviously, he's been around forever, so that's a factor as well. I'll be rooting for Yaya on this one. I don't really know necessarily who's going to take it, but I'll be rooting for Ronnie.
Yeah, and that's an interesting topic too, because everybody does see him as a grappler. He can hang on the feet. Like the only dude I ever remember knocking him out is Joseph Benavidez, and that was forever ago.
Right.
So, co-main event, I believe this one was also rescheduled. Michael Chiesa versus Sean Brady. No, I'm really excited for this one.
Oh yeah.
Because Brady is finally getting his step up in competition, and Chiesa is proving whether or not he's a top 10 welterweight.
Yep.
This is a super interesting fight. I'm kind of surprised they didn't give Chiesa someone a little higher ranked, but I'm glad. This is a good fight. Sean Brady's a pretty good striker. He's a really good grappler, but I think Chiesa probably out wrestles him to a decision. We'll see though. How
I'm
do you
not
see it
sure.
going?
Sean Brady, I'm pretty sure he's undefeated right now.
Yes, he is. He's 14-0.
Yeah, this is an interesting fight. This is the new age young guns fighter versus the veteran basically.
Yeah.
But I disagree slightly. I think that Brady might have the wrestling advantage. However, Chiesa mixes his jiu-jitsu better with his wrestling.
Mhm.
So I feel like the ground will be dangerous for Brady, and I feel like he almost might want to just keep it on the feet.
That's what I think. Because
He's
Chiesa,
a strong guy. He might have a good shot at that as well.
yeah, they're both super strong guys. But yeah, dude, Michael Chiesa, his striking has improved over the last year or so, anyways. But dude, he throws like the same jab cross combo before he shoots in on a takedown or ties up every single time. Jab cross tie up every single time. So yeah, I think Sean Brady could definitely win this fight on the feet if he can keep it there.
Absolutely.
Now, our main event, a lot of people were complaining that this is a main event, but I mean, it's Miesha Tate, so you know, give her what she deserves. She's fighting Caitlin Vieira, who I think, no, she's fought twice since then. Damn, she's coming off a loss to Yana Kunitskaya, while Miesha Tate just came back and beat Marion Hano after what, 4 or 5 years away? I think 5. That was in 2016.
Long time.
Yeah, almost 5 years away, and she came back and beat her. It was pretty impressive with a third round TKO. How do you see this one going? You think Miesha can string two together?
She could. I feel like she could. I feel like she has a decent task ahead of her because I feel like Vera is a decently, she's a physically strong girl, so
Agreed.
Miesha is gonna have to work for every bit of takedowns,
Yeah.
anything she gets in that nature. I feel like Miesha isn't too far behind her on the feet. Vieira might have a slight advantage there.
I think it's slight advantage, yeah.
But then again, Misha's been in there with everybody. She's been in there with the best strikers, and she has taken their back. So we'll see if she can do it again.
Yeah, she's been in there with the best grapplers too. And Vieira is a very good grappler. She's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's a black belt in Judo. It's gonna be hard for Miesha to take her down, but around like right before Miesha won the belt, when she was on that 4 or 5 fight win streak where she won all decisions, I noticed her boxing improved a lot in that time. So if that didn't fall off at all, I mean, she could definitely be competitive on the feet.
I think that almost for Vieira, this is almost like a lose-lose situation because people, yes, Miesha Tate has a big name, but people aren't fully, they haven't fully bought into her return to MMA yet. People want to see her do well, but no one's really bought in completely that she's who she was or better anymore. So I feel like if Vieira wins this, people are just gonna be like, well, Tate is past her prime.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Vieira wins or if Vieira loses this, it might not have much stock unless Misha does well going forward.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that entirely.
So if Misha beats her, Vieira better hope that Misha starts running through her or other opponents too, because it's a bad look, I think. Um, if Misha comes back, beats Vieira, and then looks bad against her next opponents.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
we'll see.
mean, both of those things are possible too. Like Misha is 35, I think. So, I mean, yeah, she's 35. She would be right at the tail end of her prime, I think, if she would have continued fighting. Um, well, it's potential. She'd be still be in her prime. But all those years away, I mean, it doesn't look like it hurt her too bad in her return. Maybe she was able to heal her body up and she'll look better considering.
She looks a little more like physically matured. Like she looks a little bit older, but so
Yeah.
did Glover, and Glover just keeps getting physically stronger and stronger, and his scripts and his takedowns keep getting more powerful and more powerful. So we'll see. And experience goes a long way. I said that a lot in this one so far in this card. A lot of
Mhm.
these are experienced guys versus a young gun, and that I feel like might be a factor in this.
Yeah,
If
good.
Misha Tate hasn't fallen off too far, her IQ should be able to beat out Vieira.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. She definitely got experience in spades against her. Um, I think that about wraps up this video. Now, next week we don't have any fights, so sadly, especially because they're taking like a month off from December to January. But the next fight card we have on December 4th is Jose Aldo versus Rob Font. We got kickboxing champions Brad Riddell and Rafael Fiziev, rather. Jimmy Crute and Jamal Hill. Manal Kopp is coming back. Jake Matthews is coming back. Brian Barberina versus Matt Brown. That's literally like a free pay-per-view card right there. So
Yeah,
keep posted for that and hope you all enjoy the fights tomorrow. Thanks for coming on, Tyler. Talk to you soon.
take it easy.
You too, bud.